Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we're going to be talking about some redstone things that are possible in Minecraft 1.19. We're now in pre-releases, so Minecraft 1.19 is very close and we shouldn't be seeing many changes to these farms in the future pre-releases, but if we do, obviously they shouldn't be major changes. One thing I quickly just want to show you before we jump into the redstone changes, if you actually jump into a void world, you can actually see how the ancient city is set up. As you can see, I'm in a void world complete. I'll show you how to make this in just a second. And as you can see right here, there are obviously the ancient city structures as if it was spawned in the world. We are like at minus 50 right here, or minus 30. And it's just as if it's generated. So if you want to see how they're set up, but obviously not have all the stone and all that around, or all the deep slates, just go into a void world. And if we just fly a little bit away from this one, and do /place and then structure ancient city, as you can see it will place another ancient city, and just like that, as you can see, it's placed right there, with the other one I believe being in one of these directions. Yes, as you can see, it's right there. So if you want to get a rough idea of how they're laid out in a flat world with no deep slate or ores or anything like that around, then just jump into a actual void world and you can look at it. You can see the chest layout, and you can also obviously see the underneath of the actual portal, whatever this is. So the first redstone contraption is possible. Obviously, it's shown right here in the actual ancient city. You can see there's a Skulk sensor, and waterlogging Skulk sensors will actually make them silent. So as you can see, if I make a noise, it's not showing a subtitle for the actual Skulk sensor, but if I put one here, as you can see, it don't click if you actually have it waterlogged. If you want to create a void world, how you do it is you go to this screen, you then click more world options, go to this, make it super flat, go to customize, click presence, and then you just want to click the void section, use that, then click done, and then obviously change any other settings that you want to change. Click done, and obviously once again change it to creative or whatever, and then just click create new world, and then that'll create a void world with literally just a, I think, 5x5 of stone, and then the rest of the world will be void. So we're going to be talking about obviously some redstone or some farms mainly to do with redstone. Obviously there's farms like the goat horn farm to obviously farm them. There's obviously frog-like farms out there. And there is also some Skulk farms to obviously farm XP from Skulk. Or you can obviously farm Skulk blocks from Skulk Catalyst by having a mob die near it. I've actually built a frog-like farm on, not a frog-like, I've actually built a frog-like farm on a channel. It'll be linked in the description if I can find it. And I've also built a goat horn farm on the channel. But we're going to be talking about like main redstone things that are possible. Now the first thing is obviously Skulk, and upon activating Skulk, it will give a different redstone signal up to obviously 15, dependent on what you're doing. Like walking, as you can see, gives a redstone signal of 2. If I place a block, that gives a redstone signal of 13. And breaking a block gives a redstone signal of 14. So it's different dependent on what you actually do near it. Falling near it, as you can see, gives a redstone signal of like 5. I will actually have a list of all the possible ways to set off Skulk sensors and their redstone signals, how much they actually output, as this is very useful for things like opening chests. Even it gives a different redstone signal. Let's actually grab the chest. If I do that and then open a chest, as you can see, that gives a redstone signal of 15, and even closing it. So you can actually activate if someone's like near a chest, if someone's walking, but you don't want it to do anything else. You can obviously do it dependent on what you want. The next farm is, as you can see right here, using the chest boat, because chest boats, obviously their hitbox is like just a bit bigger than a block, which means it can actually cover 9 blocks of hoppers or 9 blocks of anything. In this case, we're using hoppers because this is a very quick and easy way. If I quickly just break all these furnaces, it's a very quick and easy way to spread a lot of items into like 9 different spaces. We're only using 8 right here just because obviously we don't want one in the middle. So if we was to have like a hopper smelting system, all these, as you can see, furnaces are empty. If we was to put in a stack of items, or let's actually put 2 stacks of items in, and then we was to wait. As you can see, it actually empties pretty quickly. So if we was to put in, let's quickly just click on the boat. There we go. If I was put in 2 stacks, as you can see right there, it's taking them quite quickly. And if we wait a second just for the whole boat to empty, which it has done, as you can see, there is now 16 in every single hopper or every single furnace. So this is an easy way to actually split items up to obviously 9 different items. They need to be in obviously a circle like this because of the chest boat. You can literally have it so it's only 3 by just obviously moving the chest boat so it only covers the 3 hoppers, just like that. And then obviously you can break all the back ones, and it will only then lead into these 3. So if we do this again with obviously 2 stacks of items, you can see that they will slowly split up into the 3 different furnaces. And obviously this is very useful because if you want like a big massive storage that splits it up into like loads of different. Now, this one isn't really redstone related, but it is a farm. If you're a noob like me, and you always turn your lava into obsidian when trying to make a lava generator, you can now actually make it pretty simple by placing water inside of a root block, or you can also do it with any single leaf in the game. Let's use Xalia leaves for an example. As you can see, and the water don't flow out, so you can now have your lava, and it will flow into the leaf block or the root block, creating obsidian, and you can break that, and the water or the lava will never get destroyed. This just makes farming cobblestone a lot easier, especially in like skyblock maps or certain maps where you can't have access to cobblestone or stone. They also made a change to LAs, so this next farm is going to be using the LA. They also made a change in LA where if there is actual wall in between the note blocks, the LA between the note block and the LA, the LA won't be able to register the actual note block. So if we have something like this with that LA having that item, then let's put that LA in there with a hopper, and it's got out, so let's just throw a different one in there with a hopper. There we go, we finally got that one in. And the last one is a actual sword, so if I do that and then do that and then block it in, there we go. And then we play these note blocks, but also let's actually play the note blocks. Okay, the actual LAs are now linked to the redstone note blocks. So if we now activate this real quick, it will now dispense items, which they should pick up and throw straight into the hoppers. Although the actual dispensers are pretty much dispensing them into the hoppers. But as you can see, it will work. Obviously, this is just a quick example I threw together in a few seconds. But the LA will obviously pick up the items, throw them to the note block, they'll go into the actual hopper, which will then put them into these chests, and we're missing 1 shovel, so maybe the LA will throw that in a second. They can actually sort non-stackable items in some sense. They can't actually like pick between enchantment books, so you can't have an LA choose to pick up mending books. It will actually pick up any type of enchanted book. So you can kind of sort non-stackable items, but only to a certain sense. The next farm is obviously clay. As you can see, you can now actually renew clay by having mud on top of a block with a dripstone feeding into a cauldron. And this can be any block. It don't need to be dripstone. It can also be slabs. I don't know why it can be slabs, but as you can see, I don't know if it can be stairs. Let's actually try this. I actually put that on top of a slab, and if I quickly just turn the random tick speed up, let's turn it to 300, so it's 100 times the speed. As you can see, that one pretty much instantly turns, and so does the one with a stair, so it don't actually need to be a solid block. It can also be slabs or stairs, which is really weird. I didn't actually expect that, but that is the case. It can basically be any block that you can actually place a dripstone on, I think. So you can't obviously place it on leaves, so leaves wouldn't work. I have done some more testing with this, and it seems like as long as you can put a pointed dripstone on the bottom half of the block, it will actually work. And it needs to obviously be the bottom of the block because it needs to point into a cauldron, otherwise it won't actually dry. But it works with all of these, which are not really solid blocks. It won't work with that because that obviously falls. Does it work with a cake? No, you need to place a cake on a block, so cakes won't work. What about actual hanging roots? Okay, so that seems to maybe work as well. If we now quickly just replace all these with clay, and we can now see, yeah, as you can see, pretty much all of these work. As long as a pointed dripstone can go on the bottom of them, it will drain the water from the clay above, which is weird. Maybe this is a bug, and maybe they might make it in a future update to only be solid blocks. The last farm is obviously a Propecule farm. This is a very simple design that I came up with. As you can see, I have once again built this on the channel. It's basically just a observer clock leading into redstone. This has bone meal to bone meal leaf to produce a Propecule, and then these have dispensers filled with bone meal to actually grow the bone meal up. And then the redstone obviously goes round to these observers, which activates that redstone right there, activating the piston, breaking it. If I quickly just show you, you can see that it actually does that, and then obviously all the propacules do go into our inventory right there. So this is a very easy and simple propecule farm. Obviously you need a lot of bone meal for it to work, as it needs to obviously bone meal a leaf to produce the propecule, and then the dispensers around need to actually bone meal the propecule to make it fully grown for the piston to break it and give it to you. So this is like possible things you can actually do within 1.19 and redstone. I think my favorite is going to be messing around with Skulk shriekers, and also the allay, and also chest boats. I think actually making this like where the items can actually be split into like 9 different hoppers at a single time is going to be so useful, especially for big massive storage root systems, or even like furnace arrays. I almost said furnace arrays then, but obviously they do not smell items for you. So yeah, I can't wait for 1.19 to be fully released so I can actually start messing with some of this and then know that no more changes will be made. But if you did enjoy this video, do leave a like and subscribe. Let me know if you guys have anything that is possible in 1.19 redstone related, as I think I'm going to start working more with redstone, as I want to understand it more, and I think the Skulk sensor is going to make that way easier, because obviously this is a way to do wireless redstone. You can have redstone go like from the top of the world to the bottom of the world within a few seconds, obviously blocking it with wool if you don't want it to go to a certain direction. But I'll see you guys next time. Bye.